Tech Energy podcast, and we're live at Midwest Con in Cincinnati. Amazing conference where we're talking everything AI and emerging technologies, and also, diversity, inclusion, and careers, and how AI can help in the sense of your career or your entrepreneurship, and not cannibalize it, or how can you avoid it through education and application of AI. And shout out to Disrupt Now. This is a podcast run by Rob Richardson, the founder of Midwest Con. So this is a big Tech Energy and Disrupt Now collaboration. And today I am joined by an amazing individual who's going to introduce himself and share with you what he does, and then we're going to get into the details of it. So go for it.
Sure. Thank you. So I'm Chris McGraw. I manage the STEM Talent Solutions for Lorien. What we do is we work with organizations as large as Honda, Amazon, Microsoft. We also work with mid-size and late-stage startups, but we provide solutions on how to find talent within the STEM area, in particularly technology, and really, as you mentioned, AI. Diversity, inclusion is an important piece of what we do. So it's kind of timely that, this whole conference is going on right now, because it really fits in what we do in our focus for organizations.
Awesome, man. So when it comes to the organization, how did it start? And I guess what was the history that led to it becoming in existence?
Yeah, so for Lorien, we are part of an actually multinational organization. We are ultimately owned by a private equity firm out of the Netherlands called HeadFirst, but we have locations in Europe, APAC, North America, and we have different brand labels because it started as like a lot of companies. Just one organization kind of acquired another, but then now we have grown into this entity that really serves, again, the enterprise, mid-size, and late startup space, particularly in STEM, and how we can bring in talent to those organizations.
Awesome. So when it comes to STEM and increasing diversity, what are some of the things that y'all are focused on in terms of, moving the needle in that way? Yeah. And the second question of that is, why is it so important in your opinion?
Yeah, perfect. So what we do is, when we look at organizations, the biggest thing we see, and it's easier for us to see it from the outside, culturally, they are sometimes too homogeneous, and that can be a detriment to an organization, right? Because now their clients, their customers, regardless if they're B2B or B2C, their audience, who they sell to and provide services to, may not look like them. So the importance is you need to have that separate lens in the organization to help design products and services to be able to serve the people that they want to serve. And so what we do is we help organizations really kind of look at the non-traditional areas where to recruit from. And everyone goes to LinkedIn and Indeed, but we really try to immerse ourselves in organizations, for example, here at University of Cincinnati, organizations that represent diverse and your non-traditional candidate, an underrepresented candidate, especially in STEM. So we look in those areas of organizations, whether it be academic, professional, organization, or nonprofit, to be able to find that type of talent to introduce them to our clients. So that's one way how we do it. And by doing that, though, we've been able to develop also our natural network. So then we can ask, say, someone we had placed in an organization, hey, who do you know that's good that we should be talking to? And then becomes word of mouth, right? And it grows from there. So why is it important? Again, as I mentioned, organizations, their audience is almost multinational now, right? Regardless if it's a product or a service, regardless if they're B2B or B2C. In order to be able to serve that clientele effectively, and this is business related, right? It's all, if you want to say, if you just want to be, it's still doing the right thing, and you do it once because it's the right thing. But two, it's a business imperative now, because you need to understand your audience that may not look like you. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be able to bring a new set of eyes, people that would be able to really increase the diversity of your organization. So now you have a better lens and understanding of who you want to serve on the outside as far as a client. Again, in regards to if you sell goods, services, B2B or B2C.
Awesome. And then for the folks that you recruit and bring into companies, what are the type of roles or what are the skill sets that you're typically looking for?
Yeah, so it depends on what our client is looking for. Typically, big picture under the umbrella, technology, and that's a big umbrella, but it could be anything from technical coding skills, development skills, or on the infrastructure side, networking, cloud. The bigger component, though, is a lot of times is that technical skill base, but then the client's now looking for more of not just cultural fit, but can they work in a lot of different groups within an organization? Because a lot of times that IT group, that technology group, or that project manager is going to be working with a lot of different organizations and supporting a lot of functional areas. So can they be able to communicate well with, say, finance, HR, if they're supporting that group, within internally if they're IT? And also be able to work in a lot of ambiguity is what they're looking for too. So it's interesting how, and I don't know if maybe it's because of the rise of AI, people are looking for not just that technical skill set to kind of get the resume looked at, but once the interviewing starts, now they're looking for those communication skills and those soft skills, being able to work in a lot of ambiguity, being able to work in areas where there's a lot of shifting priorities. So that's the big thing they're looking for.
Gotcha. Okay. And then if you were in the job market and you're looking at, and that's why I asked about roles, because everybody's worried about the roles that are kind of going away in terms of demand, entry-level software engineering and things of that nature. If you were a job seeker, based off of what your clients are looking for more than not, which area would you push them towards? And then in what way should they prepare to be a really good, option for clients like yours?
Yeah. So what I would do, if I was especially entry-level, maybe 2-year software developer, use that example, I would look at not just the large enterprise organizations, because they are the ones that have done most of the cutting, right? Or we're not hiring now. I would look at late-stage startups, mid-sized organizations that are going through some type of growth. We're serving quite a few mid-sized organizations. Some are backed by PE firms. Some are just funding themselves, but they're finding themselves in a growing and expanding growth situation. So those are opportunities where an entry-level person or a 2-year person could find traction. I think right now for that segment, they're getting beat up because, one, there was a lot of overhiring in 2021, and things have slowed down, and then there's the AI scare. What I do believe the pendulum swing is going to come back the other way, though, because we're always going to need those developers and those coders, for example. So I think there's going to be a level set, but I really don't think things are just going to go away. But if I was in the job market now, to answer your question, those are the areas where I would look in.
Awesome. And then when it comes to like science, engineering, and math, are those areas that you focus on as well in terms of?
We do. Yeah. So we work with, for example, Honda Motor America. We work in their engineering group, their manufacturing group, at the professional side, as well as technology. And we also work in life sciences too.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So in terms of like the next 5 to 10 years, what is the goal of your organization in terms of like where you see your offering evolve? Like what you're doing today makes total sense and is super needed, but like where do you see like the next steps of your organization?
So that's funny. So like a lot of organizations, we are looking at AI to be able to enhance and complement what we already do. So we are looking at, as probably every organization, ways that, because everyone wants to shop for things differently. A person looking for a career doesn't always want to talk to someone, just like I may not want to talk to someone when I buy a car. I'm going to go on Carvana. So we are setting up an environment where people can be matched with organizations based off of their background a little more immediately, and then get recommendations throughout their career as things progress. So that's one thing we're doing. But I think 10 years from now, STEM will always be here. Probably the most important thing is that will always be here, just because too many things can't be automated by AI just because of risk mitigation. So I do believe that core STEM will always be here, but we'll probably see it in different areas. We'll probably see more remote work than we currently have, even though there's a return to office for a lot of organizations. So I do believe that we'll be working with companies that are open to hiring abroad. So not just North America, but they're going to be more comfortable with, because the tax laws say hire someone from Central Europe or the Central European country is going to be willing to hire people from Mexico or from South America or South Africa. So I kind of see more of that happening.
Yeah. So, this has been a very interesting year with this administration, and it's real focus on eliminating DEI and all of the things. How have and I'm sure before this administration, there was a higher receptiveness to the value of DEI or the interest or the comfort of focusing on diversity. How has this year been for your organization? And has it, and how have you kind of overcome those challenges, if there have been?
So, interesting enough, the organizations we work with and with my clientele, it's all 100% either publicly traded companies or private companies. So we don't work in any government agencies. We have not had any pushback on being vocal and active recommendation on how to diversify and increase inclusion in their organization, as long as it fit what they needed, right? And it's easy to find those. Well, you can find that talent. You just got to look. Yeah. And so interesting enough, and it's great because we've not had much pushback. When I cited organizations need to diversify because they understand they need to serve that type of client base if they want to grow their business, virtually every company understands that. They just need to get out of their old habits of looking in the same place. I do believe that from what I've seen, it's unintentional. It's just that, well, I've always worked here, I always looked here, so I'm just going to tap into the people I know. But if you just tap into the people you know only, you're not going to uncover other people. And so those are the doors that we open. And everyone's been receptive to it. So we've really had no pushback. I think the thing with the administration, personally, is just all noise. And those that I interact with aren't listening to the noise.
Gotcha. If somebody that's watching this wants to be considered, for the roles that you have, is there an easy way for them to connect with you or be?
Yeah. So absolutely. So I would encourage you, look at me, find me up on LinkedIn, Chris McGraw. I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, with Lorian. Reach out to me that way. I'm at chris.mcgraw@lorianglobal.com. Feel free to send me an email, send me your resume. Feel free to call me on my direct line. It's at 312-224-2524. That's my work line.
Awesome. I appreciate you for giving people access. Yeah. And then when it comes to how can people or organizations, et cetera, support your mission? What ways are you looking for collaborations, partners, et cetera?
Thank you. Yeah. So we're not always finding organizations that will just take our candidates. We are looking for partners that will believe in changing the workforce to match what the world looks like.
Yeah.
And a lot of those could be where we would do our own joint podcasts or presentations or LinkedIn Live. We'll also do video recordings together. So we hire and encourage, and typically this is driven by the talent acquisition or HR group of organizations, especially as they get larger. So if there's anyone that's listening that would love to just talk how we can collaborate together just to get that message out and help organizations find that talent, we'd love to be able to do that.
Awesome. And I'm sure people will be curious too, because I'm sure there's a lot of people man, I want to be part of this organization. Yeah. Are you hiring actively?
So we are hiring, unfortunately not here in Cincinnati right now, but we do have open roles within Atlanta, Denver, San Diego. I would encourage you to look at lorianglobal.com/US. Find our open roles, or feel free to, again, reach out to me to be able to, I can point you in the right direction.
All right, last question that I like to just kind of put out there, open-ended. There's probably a question that you're dang, I wish you would ask this so that I could, drop this information. So if there was one, what would that question be, and then what would the answer be?
Oh, gosh. Probably one would be, what are we seeing organizations doing now in terms of reacting to AI?
Yeah.
And my quick answer would be, if you've been around, and I'm showing my age, the .com bubble burst of the late 90s, it's a lot like that. People are saying, we need to be on the internet, we need to be on the internet. Or if you remember the blockchain craze, all the blockchain bros are saying, but there's more of a pendulum swing, as with everything. And I think we're at the extreme pendulum swing one way, and it's going to level set to the middle again.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. Well, you shared how people could contact you, but one more time, how can people contact you, and any last words before we close
Yeah,
out?
thank you. Yeah, so again, reach out to me, Chris McGraw, LinkedIn, here in Cincinnati, Ohio. You can reach out to me at chris.mcgraw@lorianglobal.com, or free for you to give me a call, 312-224-2524. And I just say thank you for the work that you're doing to make this happen and let everybody know about it.
Awesome. Now, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
If you are watching this, make sure you take him up on his offer and connect with him, or share with somebody that's in the job market, which there are a lot of people out here that are getting laid off, that have exceptional skills. He's going to make sure that you're in the right place, and, all the things. And in terms of, for me personally, what I would love to just kind of express is, in this AI, and layoff kind of a situation, I think it's really important to take advantage of the attention economy and have a personal brand that's out there. The more people that know, trust, and like you will create partnerships, business opportunities, referrals into jobs, or even having recruiters or hiring managers kind of know who you are. So if you're interested in being on podcasts or conference stages, or just amplifying your brand online by providing the value of what you know to others, which will show employers or investors, all the great things you do. Let's connect on Instagram. You can follow me at Dr. J, DOCTAJ. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn, Jared Albritton. My name will be in the caption, and so will his information as well. And then also make sure you're following and subscribing to the Big Tech Energy podcast. If you found this interview helpful, make sure you share it. We'll love your comments. We'll love for you to like it so that it gets to more people. And also make sure you come to Cincinnati next year, 2026, Midwest Con, as you can see on the shirt. And make sure you check out Disrupt Now, another amazing podcast where they talk about AI. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time